over anyone on his way home from the pub. No one skipping in shop doorways. He doesn't see it because it's hidden. "How are you getting on at Nat's house?" said Dot. Ant had moved in with his brother Steve-O's girlfriend's family when his mum had swapped her council house in Kingsley for one in Cardiff a few months before. Ant pulled a face. "I'm not there anymore," he said. "Got a bit crowded. Shame, 'cause her mum's a bloody brilliant cook." "Where are you now, then?" "Saggy's." "Oh, blimey," said Bee. "It's all right," said Ant, although the flatness of his monotone suggested otherwise. There were thunderclouds gathering above the customer service desk. "We'd better get on before Nev blows a gasket." Bee and Dot both had customers approaching. They swivelled back into position, ready for action. Dot had a gaggle of builders clutching their meal deals. Bee groaned silently inside when she saw who hers was. A good-looking man in a shiny suit would normally be a bonus, but not this one. This was Dave, the abusive husband of one of her favourite customers, Julie. He was a surveyor for the contractor digging out cost-saves drains, so he'd been in and out of the store more often than usual over the past few weeks, and he always seemed to make a beeline for checkout number 6. "Hello, Bee," he said, sliding a packet of beef and horseradish sandwiches towards her. "Hello," she said, beeping his shopping through as quickly as she could, avoiding eye contact. "What about this weather, eh? Still seeing you brightens up my day." Bee cringed. "That's $3.99, please." He held his debit card near the contactless reader, and Bee was reminded how Julie didn't seem to have a card of her own. She always paid in cash, spending the housekeeping that she was allowed that week, Bee supposed. "Do you need a receipt?" Her eyes met his briefly. He seemed to be amused at her stonewalling. There was a flicker of a smile at the edge of his mouth. "No need, darling. See you soon." Bee shuddered as he walked away. That was one big disadvantage to working on the checkouts. You were a sitting duck. People knew where to find you. "Once a creep, always a creep," said Dot, who'd been listening with one ear as she served her builders. "Tell me about it. He doesn't get the hint, does he? And he's always bloody here these days," said Bee. "Tell you who I haven't seen for ages, though. Julie and the kids." "That's odd. They're normally in most days, aren't they?" "Yeah, and she usually comes and sees me. Now I think about it, it must be a couple of weeks or more since I saw them." Dave had left the store now. Bee could see him walking across the car park in the rain. "It's like they've disappeared off the face of the earth." Chapter 2. "Oh, don't mind if I do." Bee's mum, Queenie, took an amuse-bouche from a passing tray. It was a curl of smoked salmon sitting on a mini pancake with a wisp of dill on top. Bee watched as she picked off the dill and ate the rest. "What are you going to do with that?" she asked, nodding at the greenery. Queenie looked around for somewhere to put it. "Give it here." Bee put it in her mouth and gave an experimental chew, then swallowed it down. "Nice?" said Queenie. "Not particularly. Perhaps it needed the salmon to go with it. Anyway, I preferred those teeny burgers. They were yum. Can you say any more?" "No," said Dot, who was standing with them. "But I think Bob's got hold of something. He's over there, look." Bee scanned the room. It was huge, with a bar at one end and big windows along one side overlooking acres of sports fields and the river beyond. Just in view were the hoardings, marking the edge of the next phase of building at the former factory site. From here, on the first floor, she could see over the top, where building work was carrying on, even at 6 o'clock in the evening, with 2 diggers scooping out the footings for the next tranche of housing. Cost-saves drains might be important to the people who worked there, but the factory redevelopment was at the heart of the supposed revival of the town. The room was packed with people in smarter-than-usual clothes, standing in groups, making small but very